looks like, and also particularly today we're going to show your teachers, who some of them will be watching as well, how they could create assignments for students when they're using our site. So
yeah, let's have a look at this. Let me just get myself over to that page. So on here, what we've seen, I'm logged in here as a teacher, Ms. Lockhart. Up here, I'm logged in as a teacher, and what I want to do is I want to set an assignment for my.
I think it's Mr.
Is it Mr.? I don't watch the Harry Potter films.
Yeah, he's that. What's his name?
Sorry, let me take that back. I don't read the books, and I haven't seen the films really either. So
yeah, it's Kenneth Branagh.
I know. Okay, I've seen that character. Yeah. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose the curriculum Spanish, which is for my curriculum is the only one I have in here, and I'm going to create an assignment. Now, what's going to happen here is I've got some options in terms of what I want to do here. I could set my students some lessons to watch, and that's going to be a little bit like the live teaching Marta just did for you. You're going to be able to set the students to watch something on reflexive verbs, on relationships, on the gerund, on the superlative, on the subjunctive, on the present preterite. I'm just making stuff up.
Present preterite, no.
Is that not
present or preterite?
Thank you. See, I speak foreign language. I haven't really studied foreign language. There
No,
it shows,
fair
right? So what I want to do is, that's the lesson one. Upload essay is where you set them a piece of work in the assignment, and then they submit a document, for example. Checkpoint is like an end of unit test, but what I want to do is I want to set students a test, and I want to select my group. I'm going to select from this one here, Mr. Flitwick's GCSE Spanish group. I'm going to select a course, AQA GCSE Spanish, and I'm going to select some lessons. So I'm going to say, right, I'm interested in verbs. So I'm going to scroll down the curriculum here. I'm going to get to verbs. And I want to set them questions from that whole area of how verbs work. It's quite a big area.
That's ambitious.
Do you want me to do less? Something like, should we do that?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll stop at nada, nunca, nadi.
You could go ambitious, but
okay, that's fine. So I'm going to choose them. And what this is going to do now is it's going to tell me how many questions are available. So I've got 116 questions available to me, and I'm going to set a 30 question test for my students. And the site is going to randomly generate this. And I'm going to set a minimum score, and I want to say they have to achieve 80% to pass my test. I'm going to set it so that it starts right now, so on the 19th. I have 4:31, and I'm going to set it so that it's I'm going to set it 4:31. In a week's time, they've got exactly a week to do it, and I'm going to call it verbs test. Okay, or intro to verbs test. Do these questions. You'll probably put in more. Oops, you probably put in more information than this, right? But we don't need to waste our time here. Do these questions. Now, the question is, do I allow retakes from my students? I'm going to say to my students, yeah, you can have more than one go at this, but it is mandatory. You have to complete this on time. Now, I can assign to all of my group, or I can assign to a specific student. So I'm going to say, no, I want to say I want all my group to do this, and I'm going to create that assignment. Now, that assignment is now created. So if I now, for a moment, let me just switch over here. If I now, for a moment, I was meant to hide that and shoot in a second. If I now switch over to being, in this case, Harry Potter look, I'm now going to find out that if I go on my dashboard, you see, if I go on my dashboard here, I've got some notifications, and here you go. You've been assigned you've been assigned to take the test, AQA GCSE Spanish 9 to 1. There. So if I go into my dashboard,
assignments,
and I choose my course. Oops, there's my little tracking data. It's kind of useful for me. Actually, I'm going to do it this way. Here's my assignments. Okay, so here's all of my assignments. I want my assignments from Spanish, and here we are. Here's my. I've got some lessons to watch, and here's my verbs test. And you notice I've got 6 days left to do it. It's mandatory. I must do it. It's open today. I'm going to click in. Okay, and from here it tells me what I have to do, and I'm going to hit test. Well, myself, and now I'm away. Aquí en. Tú contaste mis. Oh, it's a shame. So, but I'm getting my feedback. I understand what I have to do. Okay, I'm going to go on to my next question. Here's my question. When did Jorge arrive? Cuando Jorge llegó? Cuando llegó Jorge? I think it's this one. Yay.
Cuando llegó Jorge. Muy bien. Jorge is probably one of the most difficult names to pronounce.
That's really hard. I'm not even going to have a go at that, because it's kind of you see here, it's kind of a real proper translation I have to do. Anyway, I keep going, and I keep going.
Until you get to the end.
Until I keep going. You see the kind of questions I'm having to do. I keep going. Drag things, I place things. You get the idea. And at the end of that, I'm going to get a score. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my assignment here, it's saying here, are you sure you want to exit this test? We recommend taking 30 minutes. I want to say yes, exit, and it's going to close my test. And you notice here that I've done 9 of my 30 questions and I scored 10%. Okay, so it's giving me my score, but obviously I need to do a bit more on that, and I would need to retake that, and I'd have to get the passing grade of 80%. For the teacher, let me see if I can show you for the teacher. For the teacher, if they go into assignments, where have I gone? Where's my verbs test gone? Am I...
Stop one, no? Verbs test?
Ah, yeah, here it is.
Yeah.
Okay, I can go in here, and you see here, I've got 10% for Harry, and he's done 9 of 30 questions on completion. Okay, so that it's not a great score, but I know he's undertaken it. Okay, and I can have a look if he's had more than one attempt at it. It would show me in there. I can know just Draco, Hermione, Neville, Parvati. How do you say that? Parvati?
Parvati, I don't know.
Parvati and Ron. They have not attempted this yet. So what does that mean for us, folks? It basically means that you set a homework for your students that's relevant and decisive in terms of skill development, and most important, or not most, and very importantly, it marks that work for you. It does the job for you. It sets the task for you and marks it for you, and the students have got martyrs teaching if they get stuck. It's a pretty rich experience, and we encourage you to come and take a look. It could be really, really important for your students. Anyway, that's enough for me.
Great.
Demoing this stuff.
That's all right, fantastic, James. Muchísimas gracias por esta demostración de la web.
De nada, como siempre.
Perfecto, estupendo. So